Good morning, guys, and welcome to 2020 Vision. I'm Mia.
And I am Gene.
I'm Lust right now, but I'm probably Hector the Animator.
Oh, and I'm Jordan. I'm new here.
All right, and Gene had some stuff he wanted to talk about today. We wanted
For
to
starters, he wants to talk about his nice floral jacket he's wearing.
Yeah.
No, seriously, because I'm in bloom right now. Spring's around the corner, so
Yeah.
I'm just trying to
Yeah,
pop.
but South Florida, who can tell the difference?
And it's like 50 degrees today, so
Yeah.
obviously I'm freezing and I'm
Hi.
dressed like it's Alaska up in here.
I went to school yesterday, and it was warm when I got there, and then when I left, it was cold, and I was so confused because I was wearing shorts, and I had no clue what was going
Only
on.
thing we're missing is snow right now.
Yeah, well, there's snow in Florida.
Yeah.
Never saw this in Florida. Although that would be a trip
Just
though.
cross our fingers. You just see like a light flurry.
I own like 2 long sleeve shirts for when it's cold, so if it stays cold for more than like a week, I'm like, I don't know what to
Right.
do anymore. I have like
Uh,
one pair of boots, that's it.
I've got I got like a bunch of jackets I never really get to use. So I always like it when it goes below 60 because
Yeah.
you have an excuse to wear jackets now.
Yeah, it gives us a little treat.
But the topic that I want to bring up for today, guys, besides it being cold and me being, very vibrant.
You
with
have
my jacket.
yes, you being the envy
But
of
the
everybody
topic-
else's day.
But the topic I want to bring up is the whole fact of like artists nowadays are bringing like this nostalgic being out of the game
Well, how
from
is-
pop to hip hop to I don't know if any rock.
There's some. No, there's some.
There's some that are coming out after like 4 or 5 years. And personally, I have to say, they should have, stayed on the couch and retire, probably be producers to like the newer up and coming artists coming up. I just want to hear you guys' thoughts about artists coming out for
I
albums.
literally love when artists come back. I feel
You
the
ever heard-
opposite way. Like the Jonas Brothers, that is something I'm so excited about, that they're back and that they're men now and they're
The
everything,
Jonas
honestly.
men?
They were like boys before and now they're men. And they're
Yes,
awesome.
very,
love
yes, thin, very effeminate men.
I love their new song about like treating women nice, and their whole song they're like, I don't want you to be a side piece, I want you to be the main chorus. And I was like, they are good men.
That means should it be
I
side
love
dish?
the Jonas Brothers.
Side dish.
You know what I mean? They're
Isn't-
not playing games. They want a real lady. They want a woman. They're all married, I think, actually now. But I love them.
Isn't like Nick Jonas trying to transition to being an actor?
He's done some acting before.
Yeah, all pop stars want to transition to being actors.
He was on Broadway. He's done a couple TV shows. So he knows how to act already. But maybe I would love to see him. He's my favorite, Nick Jonas.
But some of them maturing, like, I mean, Lil Wayne's horrible album. I had to say, like, the last one that he came out with, I wasn't really a big fan of it. And now Gaga, I'm going to listen to her album, and I will critique it.
She's getting all crazy again.
Oh,
Everyone was
well,
laughing
crazy.
about that because she kind of became a normal human after A Star Is Born. Like, she looked like a normal person.
Even
and now
before
it's
Stars,
over.
even before Stars Born, Lady Gaga spent like this weird stint just being a lounge act with this
Yeah.
something I don't even know, something Bennett.
Everyone was like, what
Yeah,
happened?
I guess if I asked like Don or Freddie, they would probably know. They would know because they're probably alive when he was big.
No, but perfect example, Kanye.
What about Kanye?
I mean, he should have never dropped his album.
Yeah,
that,
but it's
you know,
Kanye.
Kanye's doing big stuff right now.
But he is doing big stuff.
With that church thing he has
Correct.
going on.
Wife.
Yeah.
Correct.
You
But
guys see that he told Kim Kardashian that
What?
she's not allowed to wear sexy stuff on Instagram because it makes him look bad.
Well, it's hard to make
I
him
did
look
not
good, to
hear
be
that.
honest. But to be honest, lately it's hard to make him look
It's like,
good.
does he know who he married?
seriously,
Her whole like business is wearing sexy clothes on the
You're
internet.
just gonna have her wear a tarp now,
Yeah.
Kanye. Like
He's gonna not like that when he loses millions of dollars from
Yeah.
his wife not doing that.
seriously, like
On the plus side, new content for his new album.
But, yeah.
he should like I would say if you are old enough, like 35, 39, you have all your accolades and you're just living the high life, show these up and coming artists, not like myself, but around my age, show me the path to open the door to be just like you, to gain the same accolades, because when they do come back after a hiatus, it's not like the first sound that you heard the first time you probably heard Gaga, or the first time you heard Kanye, or the first time you heard, I don't know what rock band. I'm not a big rock.
Well,
so you're saying they
because
should like give up and just become like a mentor? And,
Correct.
Like,
because what you're
Instead
well,
of-
everything he's saying does not apply to
So-
Tool.
How
To
does
what?
it not apply
So
to Tool?
so basically, you just think they should not have their own.
They should
stuff,
be the
but they should
master
be featured?
splinter.
They should like be featured in their songs rather than.
Not, I mean, they can do a feature,
Yeah.
but they should be the master splinter
Okay.
to the artist.
Again,
like
none
a
of that
Nicki
applies
Minaj.
to Tool.
Nicki Minaj could have guided Cardi, but
Well,
there's a lot of
that didn't
beef.
There's
let's
a-
Where's
stay away
that?
from Nicki and Cardi.
I heard that she was gonna retire. I don't think she's retiring anymore.
And again,
But
none of that applies to Tool.
I don't know what Tool means.
What is Tool? What is?
Tool?
It's a band. It's a really good metal band. Really good metal band that most other metal bands just kind of stare and say, "What the actual word I'm not allowed to say on air."
What?
The air. And they actually made a really good album last year. Was it as good as the last 4 albums? No, but then again, it's kind of hard to top Lateralis.
Okay.
And it's really hard to top 10,000 Days, especially for that one track, that I can't listen to because it makes me cry.
So why does nothing apply to Tool?
Because they spend 10-year hiatuses in between every major album release.
Seriously?
Yes.
How do they make money?
No,
Just
but they have a
tours?
fan base. They
Tour.
must have a fan base.
Yeah, mostly tours, mostly
Yeah,
tours,
they
mostly
must
because
have
the
a
band
fan
members
base.
work with other
10
people.
years.
Work
They
with other
must
people.
have a
So
fan
it's
base.
not a full
That's weird.
hiatus.
Yeah.
It's just come out with another album.
Exactly.
So like they'll be in their prime, and then the next tour they're gonna be in their 40s. Like that's
they're
a little
already,
much.
they're already. Well, Maynard James Keenan is already in his 50s, and he pretty much still proves that he's really good as a frontman.
Yeah.
That's nuts.
That's funny you said that because I wanted to talk about too, like how you said, I think it's really cool when an artist can reinvent themselves and, you know, like come up with a new album however long. And if they could like sell that and come up with like Taylor Swift just come out with this documentary. And I love it because she kind of talks about how people judged her for changing her music a lot. Each album is like kind of different or becomes more poppy, but she was like, you need to keep reinventing yourself or else you're not going to be relevant. So
Correct.
it's like if you can keep people interested, I think like you must be an amazing artist.
Correct.
Like I think she's on her like 7th album.
Yeah,
I
but
think I might have to switch up my answer though, because like there are 2 artists that I do listen to still. I listen to Snoop and I listen when Pharrell drops something.
that's Pharrell.
Pharrell knows how to adapt to the times.
Yeah.
Pharrell, no, oh,
And
Pharrell's
it's
Pharrell.
weird.
That's talent
It's-
right there.
It's weird. It's like
Yeah.
Yeah, but
If you could keep us listening and it's a whole different kind of vibe each album, like you're doing something right. You're amazing.
But I
Like,
think that
that's
actually kind
cool.
of kind of brings up a different question, at least when it comes to art and music. When does changing technique? There's a thing about adaptation, and there's a thing about being the best you are at what you do.
Yeah.
Again, maybe I'm not the biggest pop fan or hip hop fan, but there are certain times that I can agree that there are certain styles that they just have that they are just outright the master of.
Yeah.
When they change up that style, it's not always as good. I can understand why you keep creatively fresh. Everyone gets bored of what they do.
Correct.
But if you're going to risk quality to make some album that's just not as good, or even just straight up choose to adapt to a style that you know would probably sell because it's trendy, but it effectively has none of your artistic merit.
Yeah.
Can you say there's a real point to it, or is that even considered an evolution in their artistic career?
Well, that's why I was saying, like, if you can, like, be, what's the word, like, multi-dimensional and come up with, like, a new, like, then you're really good. But you're right. There are people, like, I'm thinking of, like,
Taylor
Adele
Swift,
or...
like Taylor Swift.
Her music's always different. Every album is different. She had
but
country,
can you
she
really
had
call?
pop.
Yeah, but can you really say
this
any
one's
of them?
love ballads.
But can you really say that they're better?
Oh, I love every single
oh,
album.
not
by her.
look at you.
1987
Her
was
first
a
album,
nice
though, will always be my favorite album.
I think a lot of it has to do with producers also. They need a good producer to continue to be successful.
True.
That's probably
Yeah,
the biggest thing right there.
Because the producer, they're the ones that like pull the strings a lot of the times, and sometimes like musicians do their own producing, but most of the time it's a producer that's doing it.
You're right.
Yeah.
That's probably the biggest. That's also kind of the biggest thing about music that I don't think a lot of people take in consideration, ourselves included. That the artist is just the person on stage singing. Half the time, they're not the ones who write their own songs. They're not even the one.
Except
the ones
Taylor
that do their
Swift.
engineering.
Taylor Swift writes
It-
all her
Oh no, we
music.
can tell she writes her own
Yeah,
songs.
it's not that these.
Why? Because you don't like them. And Kanye West, I was thinking of too. He writes all his own songs.
She had a good
Yes,
album.
a good album.
No,
Yeah, no, I.
We're gonna get away from insulting.
Yes.
Oh, what are they gonna do?
1987 was a
Oh,
good album.
Taylor Swift's
Fine.
coming after you.
Okay,
what the-
she is definitely coming.
Oh yeah, she's going to lose sleep.
Taylor
over the
Swift
one
is
awkward fan
talented.
that she does not like.
But
her.
also that with Kanye West too, like even his new albums, like I always have to say when I listen, I'm like his words and stuff he comes up with are like, okay, like you're a genius. I get it now.
yeah, I'm not gonna.
He's
I'm not
very clever.
gonna, not gonna back off from that.
Yeah. See, oh, you're okay with Kanye West,
You're
but
okay
not
with
T
Kanye-
I'm okay.
Swift.
I'm okay
You're
with
okay
Pink too. I'm okay with Pink too. But
Oh, I love Pink.
I'd be lying. Yeah, I'd be lying. I would be lying if I said their older stuff was better than their new stuff. But there are some their new stuff that makes me say, oh, you are still there.
Yeah, she just did a song recently that I really liked from a musical.
You're okay with Kanye,
Yeah.
but you can't support Taylor Swift. I was kind of
Well,
on that
Kanye-
boat
To be
too.
fair,
He's
Kanye's
Twizzle.
not Busta Rhymes.
Yeah.
You're right, but Busta
gonna
Rhymes.
let you
See,
finish
Busta
your thought.
Rhymes did not drop an album.
Nah.
See,
Yeah.
he remained a master splinter, and I don't know if he is like helping people, but I feel like
Yeah.
people like a Lil Wayne should not drop a rock album
I
because he
feel like
did.
if you have all that money, yeah, why not just enjoy your money and like go into obscurity?
Well,
That's
they
what I
could
would
do
want.
that. So what you're saying is pull a chameleon air.
I feel like it must be so nice if you have the money
Correct.
to just never work again. I would just be like going on trips and traveling. I think it's not even the money they want at that point. It's the, like, what's the word? They want like the spotlight on them, and they
Right.
probably feel like bad when it's off them. They feel like they need to like come up with something.
And it's like we're on this weird nostalgia. Like everybody's going back in time, like, oh my gosh, Wayne's dropping another, or oh my god,
Yeah.
Gaga
Yes,
dropping
back to
Or
another.
Teddy was
Yes.
saying Fallout Boy's
Dude.
coming back now. All these old bands are coming back. I'm here for
Wasn't
it. I'm
Soulja Boy
excited
trying to
about
come
it,
back?
honestly.
Wasn't Soldier Boy trying to come back?
He tried
I mean,
for about 10 minutes.
Yeah.
And we remembered why we only paid attention to Soldier Boy.
to be honest with you, he
Yeah.
was 10 minutes.
Yeah, okay.
I'm thinking he has that one song. I'm like, was he even relevant then? Not
No,
really.
he was just a dance move.
Yeah,
Dance
he was
move.
just a dance move, really,
He
honestly.
tried to like create a video game console, and it didn't work. It was really weird.
Yeah, some artists
Yeah.
go off the rails.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know what happens. I don't know their publicists.
I see a lot of artists now like trying to do kind of what Kim Kardashian does or something, like coming up with their own lines for everything. Like Rihanna has like Fenty makeup, Fenty like clothes. Like everyone's kind of like coming up with their own like products now. Not just like a product at Macy's or Sears or anything either. Like it used to be like, oh, we have like Kim Kardashian perfume, but now they're actually like people are going out and making their own like fashion lines. A lot. I've
Well, a lot of
noticed.
them, they're trying to be business people rather than artists these days. They want a whole empire.
Yeah.
Social media, regular media, radio. They want it all.
I think the money is more in like selling products too, is
Yeah.
what they're realizing, because I think that's probably what happened with Kim Kardashian. She was doing all these shows and everything, and then her sister became a billionaire in like a year by having those lip kits, and now all of a sudden she's a makeup person, she's a perfume person. Like
Yeah, but what does she? Yeah, but what does she actually do though? Besides sell things?
Correct.
I wish that I had the money to, because they probably have a team that says this is what you're gonna do, this, and this. It's like pick a color, and she's like that one. Yay,
They sit down
I
every
made
Sunday
this.
and they
For
make
the red
choices.
one or the slightly less red one?
I wish that I could live that life.
Yeah, that sounds
It's
boring.
amazing.
But I wish just one tidbit. For who should be dropping albums, and Rihanna, I've been long awaiting your album since the
Yeah.
last one.
Honestly, okay.
And
She
she
hasn't come out with
always
anything
teases it, and then she never drops it.
Not
So
gonna
she
lie,
needs
I
to
do
drop
miss
something.
It's
Rihanna
probably
too.
been a couple of years, like 4 years since she's
Seriously,
come out
yeah.
with
She
anything.
always teases it.
That
like,
last album was when she did Work and Needed Me, and there's
Mm-hmm.
so many good songs on there. Oh, I can't wait for her
Correct.
to drop something.
Seriously,
she drops a lot of famous songs.
she
She's
does.
so
The
good.
covers or
Yeah.
But she knows how to like anticipate the crowd. She makes.
Yeah.
She. Oh my gosh.
what? You want-
You're a
I can't
Rihanna
do
fan,
it.
I
I
can
can't
tell.
do it.
It's entertaining to talk about
Yeah,
it.
no, but to put like a final comment on what you said about having all that money, the money and just dropping off on the limelight. I think part of it is that when you're a performer, you want to perform.
Mm-hmm.
Money notwithstanding. That's why a lot of like old rock acts still go on tour and live off their past glories, or just come back make new contact like Radiohead.
Yeah.
Do you feel like as if like artists now have a shorter lifespan of like being like super popular than
definitely.
artists back then? Like the Beatles were huge.
Yeah.
True.
Queen is huge.
No,
But-
true. They do have it because I feel like it's because of social media. Because they're gonna peak at a point in time,
Yeah.
and then once they peak,
Where do they go?
Well, that's what I was saying about. That's what Taylor Swift talks about in that documentary about. It's always going to be about reinventing yourself. If you want to stay relevant, you can't keep coming up with the same kind of songs. You need to change it up, and you need to keep yourself interesting.
Yeah, but
And
interesting.
come up with products,
Yeah, but
apparently.
interesting.
interesting's a
the same
risk,
thing.
but
Yeah.
some of them take that risk.
It is a risk because I remember hating Taylor Swift's albums when she started coming out with like poppy stuff. I was like, what is this? But now, you know, I like it. You got to just get used
She
to it.
tried it though because what is it? I do have that. I do have
Yeah.
that 1987.
Oh, I love that album. That's a good album.
love
All right. Does
Well-
anyone have any closing thoughts they'd like to
Final
say?
thoughts about?
I think we said everything we
Listen
need
to
to
Tool.
say.
Listen to Tool. Is Tool really good? And listen to Tool. They're really good. That's your homework for the afternoon.
Yeah. Get into some heavy metal later, guys. All right. We
Don't blow
will
out
see
your
you
ears.
on Monday.
Or do.
On the
Have
next-
a good day.
On the next 2020.